The most important point here is look for a in-house bakery. In-house bakery. They're very flexible. They offer a lot of opportunity to customize your cake the way you want it.
So the couple talks with
the baker directly, yeah.
Baker directly.
A lot of times when you outsource, you don't have that flexibility if you do want to change a color or change a flour.
Right.
It's got to go, again, it's that telephone chain. You got to call your consultant. Your consultant's got to get in touch with the bakery. If you don't get in touch with the right person at the bakery, it doesn't get done. So in-house bakeries are a huge benefit to you. Outsourcing, if you do have a catering hall book that is using an outsourced bakery, doesn't mean that's a bad thing. But again, that communication, just make sure that communication is there and they are going to be flexible with you. Oh, well, we have an outsourced, we use a bakery located here. Okay, well, can they do X, Y, and Z for me? I'll find out for you. Again, with the in-house is that almost that instant gratification, as we know, all brides and grooms like that instant gratification. You get your question answered immediately. That's one of the key. And again, you get to meet the baker himself if the catering hall offers that, which is a great thing.
And Mark, you've been with Russo's for quite some time. What are some of the disasters you've seen so they can look out for that sort of thing? Anything that comes to mind?
From outsource, I think my biggest disaster was that Brian wanted to get a cake from somewhere. I don't even remember the bakery. And our policy is that you can get an outsourced cake, but they have to deliver it. We need to know who's delivering it, at what time, and we don't touch it. Because God forbid, we don't know how much they're paying for this. And they come, and they get to the curb, and they're loading it in, and they drop it on the curb.
Oh, no.
Thank God, because this baker came about 25 miles. We have a bakery in-house. So we had all the ingredients. They made a new cake from scratch while the party was going on in our bakery. Thank God we had, but that was the worst thing. And that's the exact reason why we do not handle outsourced cakes. Because if it's damaged, if something happens to it, we do not want to take responsibility for it. Again, it's being delivered, it's being transported. Is it being kept at the proper temperature? Is it being stored once it gets to the catering hall in a proper refrigerator? All those things go behind it. So these are some of the things you think about when that, yes?
If the venue has an in-house bakery, and you don't get a chance to speak with that baker, like when you want to speak to the baker, is that a big deal?
No, you don't need to speak to the baker directly. I mean, they'll have you look through a cake book and you choose the cake that you want.
Yeah, that's the problem I'm having. Like, I'm not able to see I don't know what kind of cake they supply. All I know is that, it's really good. They have this kind of cake, that kind of cake, and this kind of cake.
Can you ask them if you could have a tasting?
No.
Because we do.
Well, the tasting is, they said the tasting is 3 weeks prior to the wedding, and I still can't look at the cakes until 3 weeks prior to the wedding.
Which brings me to my next suggestion.
I would, if you have a consultant, I know that we have a cake link that we can actually email to our bride, so you can actually see the pictures right on your screen. And we also have cake books. And did you ask your consultant if you could see the different types of cakes to choose from? That menu should be finalized about 6 weeks beforehand. So you should have your cake chosen, and you should have already been to a cake tasting prior to 6 weeks before your menu finalization. So I would press on for that if that's something that you want. Stay on top of that.